Okay, so welcome to another episode of Decode. This is himself, Decode for now. I'll reveal myself later in my dubious names, but not Doobie like Duke Doobie, the best dubious brother there is.
I love it. What's up, man? Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Yo, appreciate it, man. I appreciate all your patience. We just said if Divine would have been here, she would have had a fit. We've been having so many technical difficulties. This is probably like the third time we're trying to record, and we
It's
get all
probably
the.
why she's not here.
She probably felt it from a mile away. She says,
She's
they're
these
too
clowns.
dubious. These guys are too dubious for me."
I love it.
So, okay, so we're gonna start right away because there's been a lot of things going on, and I don't know what's, you know what I mean. I don't know what to make of it, but we've seen, like, this is the third time, like I said, and we see all these threes and this Decode.
Saw him in the Super Bowl.
And we saw him in the Super Bowl for real. So we're gonna start right away with it's about LeBron James and his 36 points to go to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record of 38,388 points. So I started to decode this based on a little bit of the numbers, looking at 36, and this is actually as of recent today. I added this in: Chinese record economy equal to 36, and so does plane crash. And I'm not saying there is going to be a plane crash, but it's good to take a note of it. But I also see 36 tied to Ethereum and tied to Bitcoin. So you know what we're doing here for the last two episodes. There's a second one that we're trying to correlate the media, markets, money, millionaire, all those M words, right? Because that's the 13th letter that we've been obsessed with, right? And tying it to the markets, tying all these things, sports and everything, to markets, and see what they're gonna do or what they're capable of doing. And we made a pretty good prediction, so we must clap for ourselves, a pat on the back. Like I said, yeah, you want to go ahead and gloat a little bit?
Yes. I predicted Chiefs to win 42-31. Got pretty close, and I made a grand total of $322 profit.
322,
322,
year.
baby. Simulation speaking to me.
Yep.
Yeah, it was nice. I did a small bet because I'm still new to all this stuff, relatively speaking, and I don't want to burn myself so bad that I stray myself away from it. So yeah,
That's good,
still a small wager, and it worked out pretty good.
You're wise. You're wise. You must be a cat, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. How'd you know?
Yeah, I had a good hunch, man. But yeah, I bet 215. I got 440. So I played it by the numbers, the eights. So I got some eights back. I guess I had good karma, but you'll see at the end how we kind of correlate, how we got made to that conclusion. If you want to go back to that other episode for the Super Bowl Decode, we both had the Kansas City to win, and I had 33-13 or 33-31 as the final score. It was pretty close. But I didn't bet the score, but I should have bet on Hurts getting that, that touchdown or whatever, that first one. It was like plus 2,000 points, plus 4,000 points or some craziness.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're here, and go ahead. You want to add anything?
No, not about the Super Bowl. I'm sure we can get into it later.
Okay.
Not really.
So from here, also, what?
We'll talk about that slide, number 2 slide that you just moved off of, the 36. 36 is a big number. Not only is it the 8th triangular and 6th square number, it is also it also resembles 3 sixes, and the number 666 is also the 36 triangular, and the sum of 1 through 36 equals 666. So 36 is a massive number in the occult world, and so
36.
yeah, when you see it, you need to pay attention to it.
Right. Because the 3 is the number of the creator, 6 is a perfect number, just like 10, I believe. The 6 number, so it kind of, I see why it's is preferred, you know.
Yeah, a lot goes into that number.
Correct. But so we have also the 33 or the 36 kind of combined with the numbers, a little bit of each. So the handing down of the torch of the big score from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to LeBron James, and you can see by their numbers. So the 38,388 points, that I got that little spark in the brain because of the headphones. Really, I thought it was interesting that it was actually part of the logo on top of it, and I thought it was actually letters, like it read something to me because of the E. You know, the 3 might look like a E somehow, and the 8s are B's. So I didn't make much of it, but I went to research it, and I found out about the score being broken. Like as I was like trying to decode the headphones, it was so funny that it happened at almost that little instant at time, and like I guess in by dawn I had some stuff already put into it, but I just couldn't finish this decode. It took a week, and then I invited Divine and Duke to help me out. Maybe they could decipher things. It was funny, like trying to put this together. This is our 3rd time trying to record this, so hopefully this is the last time. You know what I mean? And I'll get a final product for you guys. So LeBron James equals to 38. Kareem equals 83. You know, verse of 38. And you could also look at 3-8, like the
38.
888.
Yeah.
And it has it right in the score too, 888 right there. And that 33 number. So Los Angeles equals 38. LeBron James equals 38. He's 88. I mean 38, not 88. He's 38 right now. While he broke the score, he had 38 points that night. And the day of the year is 2/7 or February 7th, and it equals to a 38. Okay. And it's actually the Lover's card, the 2 of Cups, which is not the Lover's card, it's actually the 2 of Cups, but it resembles the 6 card of the tarot, which is the Lover's card, which is the number 6 tied to his jersey also, which I thought was interesting. So maybe for the love of the game, maybe that could be another logo for them, for Nike or some crap. So all-time scoring leader equals to 338 also. So that's another tie. So if you add all the numbers together, you'll get an 11-11, an 8, or a 22-8. Those are master numbers, master builder numbers, or master destroyer also for some. They say the 22 is the master destroyer, and the 8 plus the 22 equals 30, and you'll see how I connected these two in a second. But this is actually something personal. I produce another channel, and when I went to check the edited version when it uploaded, and on the same date it had 388 views, so I thought that was even more interesting, leading into the synchronicity of it all. So 30, and also water rabbit equals 30, and it's actually the 30th card is the rabbit card in the medicinal shaman cards, which I thought was interesting because you get that rabbit, and we're in a rabbit year in 2023. So also he has LeBron James, and his birthday is a 3313, and James equals 33 in the calculator, in the gematria calculator. That's even more interesting, tying this 3313 that I've been seeing, and you'll see why also, where I connected his son also, his full name in the letterology, and the numerology of the letters is 103, which is a 13, and that you get that 131 almost so that 13 going forward and 31 going forward there, if you want to look at it like that. So you have that connection with his son also, and you get it in the score. The Thunder, the game that LeBron had, broke the record. They were playing at OKC, and the Thunder beat them 133 to 130. So that's another interesting. And also, he breaks Lou Alcindor's all-time record, and it's the 30th loss to OKC Thunder. So I thought it was even more interesting how you get that 3-0 into it. Also in the series, I guess that they have with the Thunder, the Lakers. So it took 26 minutes for James to total the 36 points needed to pass Abdul-Jabbar, and to finish the night with 38 points, 7 rebounds, tied to obviously the 7 year that we're in, the 2023, and the 3 coming up again in the Lakers 133-130 loss. Okay, so you get all those connections, and you
Nice.
have also 26 that you want to speak about it. The
Oh,
26,
it's just, yeah, 2 13s. 2 times
yeah,
13
it's
is 26.
213, right?
Death card 13.
Right. So you have that other connection even in by the minutes. So you have that 26, 36, 38 connection, 7 and the 3 also. So
Mm,
it's a lot of ties here. So you see where where I was kind of leaning towards kind of similar to these numbers where the Super Bowl finals will be, for their record, I mean for their score. So Thunder equals 31, and Thunder you could say was tied to Zeus in two ways: the Thunder and the actual planet, right? Because that's where is Zeus, the planet of the god Zeus, the mythological god, is tied
hmm
to Jupiter. And if you look at Jupiter's symbol, it looks like the number 24, and the most famous Laker is Kobe Bryant from the Lakers. Right here, you have his death date from 1/26/2020 equaling to 13. And Calabasas, California, you have those three connections, the 33 connections from the third letter, the C letter, right? So I thought that was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even really interesting right there. And I kind of made this little bit of an analogy looking at thunder, looking at how is a clap, right? A thunder clap. And a clap could be, or a thunder could be also a voice. So what are they voicing? What are they trying to tell us? That's what always my story is for my decodes. So this is interesting that Duke passed this on to me about the investor day. Elon Musk, I guess, tweeted this
Mhm.
out. You said
Yep. Yeah. On 2/7, the
on the same day on 2/7 he posted this on
yes,
LeBron's day.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. 2/7 is a big number as well in the occult world because it's known as the Trinity of Trinity. 3 times, because 3 times 3 equals 9, and 9 times 3 equals 27. And 27 is mirrored or inverted of 72. And 72 is the Trinity. I'm sorry, the trinary binary number. That's the most universal numbers out there. You can find 72 and all sorts of things. The slopes of the Giza pyramid. You find it in the Vitruvian Man and all sorts of things. It's everywhere. Quants love that number
And
for
72, I
their,
think, is tied to Bitcoin or BTC and the gematria calculator also.
yeah, 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 for sure. It's the number quants love for coding, programming, new software, creation, I should say. It's the same thing. If you go to, you think of, if we live in a simulation and all these numbers are popping out, 72 is it, it's a big number.
Right. So it says the master plan 3, the path to a fully sustainable energy future for
hmm
Earth, will be presented on March 1st. So this is a tweet
Yeah,
by Elon Musk, and it says the future is bright, and it is actually for I guess a conference, or what is this? Investor Day on March
it's
1st.
it's some sort of pitch that Tesla's going to be throwing out.
And it's
Um,
funny because it says master, which we've been talking about the 13th letter, right? And it's
yeah.
master plan 3, and look at all these three times the charm. I said that earlier with
Uh
this
huh.
re-recording and re-recording, and these threes coming up in this decode. That's interesting.
Let me see what that looks like on the calculator, the cipher. Master
And I
plan
was saying
3.
that the Tesla symbol looks like the Aries symbol, and the Aries is tied to the planet Mars. And obviously Elon Musk is tied to Mars because that's the place he wants everyone to live in one day, or even wants to
Yeah.
find natural resources, right?
Uh huh. Yeah.
And the T is the 20th letter, tied to 11 also.
Speaking of 11, March 1st equals 31, and 31 is the 11th prime number.
31 is, yeah.
Yeah. Master plan 3 equals 122 in English ordinal. And it also equals 777 and Fibonacci. 505 in reverse primes, 1001 in triagonal, 1880 squares. Yeah.
1808.
Reverse Sumerian 909, Sumerian 717.
You've been looking at the letters. I hope that the audience can see the letters of I know they're tiny, but it says Giga Texas, and you have that double G, the 77, in the new numbers in the word Giga.
Yeah.
So that's interesting there too.
Yeah. Big. Who knows what he's going to pitch, but that will be 22 days before Pluto enters Aquarius. And if
22
you want to talk
days.
about that, 22 days before Pluto enters Aquarius on March 23rd, depending on, I forget which astrology chart that is from, but
Right.
depending on that's the one, whichever, there's one that says that it's going to enter Aquarius on the 23rd of March. And if you
Right.
want to talk about what that means, because
Yeah,
you're
I
the,
wanted to, finish up a little bit more of the slides,
yeah,
and I
sorry,
think
sorry.
I had one specific at the end, and then we could tie that in, the
Okay,
Pluto and
cool. So
Aquarius.
yeah, you'll make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can check out all the goodies.
Thank you, thank you. So I thought it was interesting that 311 we had the VAC or whatever, the PAN, let's call it the PAN, the WHO. I guess announced it on that day on 2020, 311 2020, which also looks like I guess 33, 11 times 3, right? And that 312, which is that 33 number, also 312, March
Uh-huh.
12th. So that's when the Dow Jones went down 23,000 points. And 23 is tied to Mercury, and is also tied to Bitcoin also as the number 23.
Yeah,
Mercury ties to mercantilism, and the markets also, right?
right.
And I believe the waters too also. If it moves waters and moves currencies just like the
Oh
moon.
yeah, liquidation, all that. Yeah,
Right.
water. Yeah, cool.
So 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus O plus 2 plus 3 equals 13. And you have that, and the date of this year marks the 3-year anniversary. So you have another tie to the 3, which is funny because all these numbers of 3 are popping up for this year for some reason. And I think if you break down cat is also a 33. I mean, the way I kind of like numbered them up. So a lot of mysticism in the cat, a lot of, like, even right now, I have a friend as they lost their cat, and I said, don't worry, it's a cat, it's supposed to do that. I don't believe they get lost. I believe they go in through other dimensions, you know what I mean, other
Hmm.
realities, and they just disappear, and they might come back, they might not. That's why you hear certain stories where the cat just comes back after like months or years or whatever, and it's the same cat. You know what I mean?
You
Or,
probably just get some tail.
yeah, that too. That's what
Yeah,
I told her too. I was like, don't worry too much. It's a male cat. It's trying to do its thing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
for sure.
so 3 plus 12 plus 23 also equals to 38, and we see the 38 tie, to the score of the Super Bowl, which is funny, and the 38, tied to 38,388 points for
Yeah, yeah.
the LeBron night, which is
Uh-huh.
very very interesting because you have these ties to the 3-year anniversary of the pan. Okay,
For
so
sure. You could also do 3 times 12 for 36. You got that 36 as well. And
that's
just a
true,
little side note, the March 11th, 3 times 11, 33.
right?
And that's when that P word happened. Which, by the way, another side note, I predicted, and since the Chiefs won, that another man-made scamdemic is going to be underway. It's probably already underway. Who knows when that will happen?
Yeah, I
Maybe
have some
313.
evidence of that too, and through
Do
the
you?
numbers, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna show that again. Remember, because I
Yeah.
didn't record the first times, but
Yeah.
so yeah, it's interesting that my godmom, she does predictions herself, but in Spanish. But she mentioned that also that there's gonna be another scare. So I thought that was interesting that everything's just confirming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you don't know, Duke is a 7, and 7s are psychics. Okay.
The 7 resembles one leg in the real world, one leg in the spirit world.
Wow, I just learned that. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm always in the spirit world.
So yeah, so my godmom's a 7 too. So so she's a she practices
Right on.
tarot and all that stuff. So
Right
it's
on.
very very interesting times
Yeah,
and connections, synchronicities.
for
So
sure.
going on, we have this movie 65, which actually premiered in one of the Super Bowl commercials. And the movie debut is on March 10th, and that equals 31, also 3-1, which is very, very interesting because it takes place going back in time. And I know Duke is very familiar with that because he loves to decode Back to the Future and relate
Oh
it
yeah,
to the markets. So I thought that was
100%.
interesting because the guy goes on a journey and he believes he's going on the same timeline, but he actually appears. So he's basically traveling through space and he falls into another timeline of prehistory, and prehistory equals to 38. So there's another connection to that 31, 38 there. Um, Continuing, the actor Adam Driver is a 33rd life path, so he's a 3-3 life path,
The
which is
33
interesting.
life path is super rare. It's the rarest.
Right. It's very
Yeah.
rare. They're the master teachers at certain points in their lives, and they do the right by the numbers. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Depending if you take the initiative, and I'm pretty sure he did. He has a military background also, which I just found out.
Oh
And then
wow.
he got into acting. Yeah,
He
but
played the Sith Lord.
yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I don't like him because he killed Han Solo, man. You don't do that.
Oh man.
You don't do that, bro.
All good things come to an end.
Oh man,
I
that was
was
hard.
more upset that Princess Leia didn't hug Chewie.
She
She
didn't hug
skipped right
him.
over Chewie. No,
Oh,
she went right past him and hugged the I forget the character's name.
yeah,
Uh,
I gotta rewatch, but you're probably right. But that's messed up because Chewie cried when she passed, when he found out
yeah,
she passed.
yeah, for sure. Um, before you move off of this movie, I'd like to touch on
Sure, go.
65.
Oh yeah, you had something on 65. That's right.
Yes, yes. Do you mind? You care if I share my screen to show this?
Sure, go ahead. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get it right. So I'm gonna.
Okay. Share.
So I got out so I could add you down.
Okay. Hopefully you can see it.
Yep, I got it.
All right, cool. So as you can see here, 65, you can get it by 5 times 13. Okay. But also, 313 is the 65th prime number.
So that 313 pops
So
up
you got that 313 again. So you said that movie releases on the
on the
10th.
10th. Yeah, 310.
Okay. Let's see if I can see anything here. We go to 313.
It's
Yeah.
probably something
So if
because
you include the end date, you got 3 years and 3 days. There's your 33 again. This is from 311. This is from the pandemic announcement date. This is an anchor
right,
date I like to use. It tends to pay off, if you know what I mean.
right. Because of that
uh,
11 times 3, that 33 is very
yeah, it's
powerful.
at
Yeah,
33. It was a big day and globally, you know. Um, yeah, 71st day of the year. And oh, look at their 313 is the 72nd day of the
the
year
72nd, you went over 70,
this
72.
year. Yeah, I went over 72 earlier. Yeah. But
It's
yeah, so
21 also. 21 is tied to the Vatican. So triple
mhm,
seven, you could look at it like that, 777.
yeah.
And it has that 30. We went over the 30, tied to
You
the
get the inverted
score,
12 as
tied to
well.
the water rabbit.
30. Yep.
Oh, and it has a 23.
Oh, you got the
72,
16.
and you have a 72 and a 23, I think.
You got the 16. You got the tower card.
Mm,
The two eights.
it's not,
88
that's not
tower
good.
card. All right. So I'll stop sharing now and you can get back. That's what I wanted to show on that.
But that's interesting how it had the numbers of Bitcoin, 72 and 23 in it.
21. Or did that have 23?
I mean 21, yeah, but it had 72 and 23 also, and
Uh-huh.
21. So it should be interesting day. All right, so back to the slides. Here we go. Let me present them to you. Can you see them?
Yeah. Yep. You're good.
Okay, so he's a 33rd life path, which, like Duke said, he's very rare. So Lou Alcindor is actually the original name for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it's equal to 65, just like the movie, the number 65. And you want to share something, I think, on magic squares that you
Oh
wanted to
yeah.
mention before?
A 5 by 5 sum of lines in the magic square equals 65. Um, yeah, just look up magic squares. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's just a little mathematical game.
Okay, so we got the magic squares also tying to 65, which is interesting because
Yeah,
the square,
55, 65. Yeah. So the 55 relates to Saturn as well.
right,
Five
and
five.
it relates to Satoshi Nakamoto and the
Mm-hmm.
gematria code.
65 is in duo with 55.
Right. So we have also another movie, Scream 6, and it's gonna be released on the same day also, that 31 numerology day. And the film continues with the survivors of the latest Ghostface killings. So I made a match to
Okay.
Ghostface for some reason, and this is him here inside the W logo. And I'm sorry, Wu-Tang equals 31, and you have the 23rd letter and the 20th letter, which equals to the 2023. So you have that 31 and even here matching with the music, because that's the Ghostface right there, the Ghostface killer. This is the original Ghostface though, don't get it wrong. But that's just a fan talking. But it was funny because in the movie there's a guy with a t-shirt that says and I might butcher it, Moschio, Digio, Vigiotto, Grigio, something similar to that, and it's an Italian movie, actually, meaning four flies on gray velvet. And in the movie, which you see is kind of creepy, you have some flies over an eye, and I thought right away, the flies tied to, I think it's tied to, like, horror, obviously, but it's certain ties to, like, demonic presences and stuff like that, and especially when it's like as close to the eye as it is. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't want to butcher the, like, what I've read about it and things like that, but I've seen videos of other influencers talk about it, whatever. But in the movie, there's actually the killer kills people with a syringe filled with poison, which I thought was hilarious, because that's where we're dealing with now. That, people making claims that the thing right now,
Jab.
the jab or whatever, is dealing with, some sort of poison, and is poisoning people. Or this could be like how, Duke was mentioning also, that there's, tied to this in this year, there might be another scare, another jab scare, another pan scare, something like that happening this year. And I'll show you, and I know Duke wants to add some stuff to it too. So from that date, also you have the 31 days or whatever, from 2/7, the day the score was broken, till March 10th. Okay, so that's that 3/1 going back. So we have also, it's a full worm moon going on that week, and 31 in reverse is actually the death card, which is 13, which Duke was mentioning before. You have that 18 in the date numerology, and that's from the moon card right there, the 18. So it's funny how these numbers are lining up. And you have also the 56, which is the reverse of the 65, which we spoke about. And I'll speak a little bit more about the 20 and the connection to that. And we spoke about 36. So all these numbers, even 13, is tying to this one date that is coming up on 3/10, which is very, very interesting. That's on 3/10.
It's the 69th day of the year.
And also the 69th day of the year, the yin and yang, which is very, very interesting.
Yes.
So here I know you want to, like, touch base on something tied to 69 and Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, Elon has just hinted towards 42069 over the last however long, several years, as you can see here in this screenshot.
So he
Well,
keeps mentioning that date.
um, I believe he might be mentioning. I don't know of a date, but like, so you got the 69th day of the year, a full worm moon, and then on 420 this year, we have a total solar eclipse. Okay, and there is one moon cycle in between that. I think there might be, he's pointing to the next bull run
Right, because he kind of did
for crypto.
a couple teasers right beforehand. I don't remember specifically, but for like that 2021 bull run, right? Like, I think he tweeted some things, right, that came to fruition, right?
Yeah, yeah. Every time he would, like, at the beginning, like, he would tweet Dogecoin and it would pump. It was
Right,
like,
right.
and so it was almost like the bots, the trading bots for the market makers or whoever, the exchanges, were tied to Twitter algorithms,
Right.
and he would just tweet Dogecoin and it would pump.
Yeah, people will
And
be all
then,
over it on Twitter. I
oh yeah,
remember those
I
days.
made a
Yeah,
lot of money off Dogecoin.
really.
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah.
I made annual salary off Dogecoin.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good, man. Good for you,
And I
man.
think it's going to pump again. I'm invested. I'm back in the market on it again.
The Doge,
The
tied to the dog,
Doge, which
tied to
which
the
is
dog,
cool.
tied to
Like, so,
Sirius.
I like it because in the Bible, it says not to have currency with men on it, basically, I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
Right.
And I know, like, the Jewish people back then despised dogs. I don't know now, but back then, like, dogs were not good. It's like dog is the opposite of God, you know.
Mm.
It's spelled, and so like they weren't allowed in houses. You can even see the mannerisms in TV, like movies and TV shows of back then, how they used to act towards dogs. They didn't like them.
Really?
Anyway, yeah. Um, and I think if we're seeing the destruction of the current fake fiat money, like it would be amazing, an amazing symbology to put a dog's face on a coin. You know what I mean? To replace Benjamin Franklin.
Wow. So you think it'll go to that level?
Yeah, I think so. I think Doge and Shib will be big players in a global cryptocurrency world.
Well, the dog year's coming up in a couple years. Let's see.
Is it
Yeah, after a couple
25?
signs, I'm not. I gotta look it up to be honest, but I know it's in a couple
No,
years.
yeah, no worries. Another decode. Please
Yeah,
like
yeah,
and
yeah, for
subscribe.
sure. Yeah, man, we got a lot of things, man, like lined up with this. So if you don't mind it to help out the algorithm, we would appreciate it.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
going back to the slides here, thank you for joining us. I got some more heat here. So you got another movie coming out on March 24th, 2023, adding to 313 here from the 6 7 6 plus 7 is 13, and you have that 313, so it's 331 going forward, and also 13. So I forget, it's not is it an anagram? No, a palindrome. It's a palindrome number, so it's a very special number when you see these, just like the Super Bowl obviously was 212. So 21 and 12 in that order. So those are called palindrome numbers. So it's very special. So I found it interesting how it lines up to that 3113 number again. So then I looked at one of the screenshots that I took from one of for the trailer for chapter 4 at that. So 1 plus 3 is 4. So chapter 4 for the John Wick movie, and John equals God is gracious, and in the background you see a nice church here, and the name of the church is Sacred Heart Church. So
I
if you
wish.
think, go ahead.
No, you finish what you're gonna say.
So Sacred Heart Church, you think of Christ, you think of the fiery heart, the phi, which is tied to the number 5, to the hand, to the senses, right? And then I guess my intuition lined this up for me because I looked up the coordinates, and you have that 133 in the numbers, and you have also the 13 again. So 133 going through the scores, and that 331, all
Mm.
tying together again from this John Wick movie. And this is in Berlin, Germany, as a matter of fact. You wanted to say something
Yeah,
before I
I
go
just
back?
want to show a cool number trick here. Ties with the church, I guess, kind of, sort of. But March 24th is when it comes out, correct?
Yes.
What you had. So 3 plus 24 is 27, the Trinity of Trinities. But it
Which
gets even
trinities of
better.
trinities?
3 times 24 is 72.
Oh, that's even more interesting.
Yeah, man. Like, these are big numbers. Write them down, peeps.
Yeah, for real. We're just trying to keep an eye on these dates in this month. Is something special is going to go on. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
glad that we're seeing it before it happens, so we could take advantage of the markets to see. And
Show.
another couple movies that Duke, I probably got bored like looking at this, because even from a couple months back, and I think even in November I was already talking about these movies. And one of them is The Last Deal, and the other one is 1 Year Off. So the 1 Year Off movie is about these well-to-do people that take a long vacation, And so I thought about that as money, the number one, Aries, or like a fire sign, the year and the calendar and off. So we've been dealing with this down market for like over a year now. So it's interesting that the last deal also came out in this February month. And you also had this movie Magic Mike that also came out on a couple days back, February 10th. And it's the double M, the 13th letter is there. And obviously magic, I believe is actually 33 in the gematria calculator also. So that's very, very interesting that you have another tied to the 3-3. Okay, tied to magic. Okay, so what's the magic being played here? What is the magic? What's the I guess the rabbit they're trying to pull out the hat, right? In this rabbit year, right? Dealing with magic, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it says the last dance and the final tease. And it's interesting how we have the last deal, 1 year off, and the last dance, the final tease by Magic Mike, all happening within the same week. And we also had a couple tragedies too. So God bless the dead, for all the families that have lost people. I mention these things not to like sensationalize any of this stuff. It just so happened to see it in the numbers and how they connect. So Turkey, the Turkey earthquake is 15 equaling to the tiger. It took place in a tiger month. 51 equals to the water tiger, which took place last year, and 15 actually equaling to the date of the earthquake, right? So you have that 51,
Mm-hmm.
15, 15 repeating, and you also have the 31, 13. And why? Because that's the rebirth number, 13. But it's also tied somehow to the markets. And you're going to see how in a few. So the Zeus depiction is also tied to Turkey, and this is in the Byzantine Empire, and this is Zeus in one of the depictions there in the statues. Turkey's also tied to the eagles and their, I guess, economic groups that they're in, like the G20s and stuff like that. They're in the 20th, I believe it says. Can't read the letters because the 20th. I'm sorry. So 20, you'll see in a few how I tied 20, and 20 is tied to 11 automatically in mathematics. So that's an interesting number, a duo of numbers. So you see, score is equal to 20 because 20 is a collection of numbers. It could be a collection of data. It could be a collection like a library, museum, a zoo. That's when you're dealing with the number 20 with the hidden 11. Okay. So 20K people were found dead. So that's interesting how you get another 20 connection. Eagle, Turkey, and Ohio also equal 20. And America, Turkey, and Kansas City equal 32. And I tied 2023, the year that we in, to these two numbers. So I thought that was interesting. And I believe this is from the Super Bowl decode that me and Duke did. And Beyonce had won 32 Grammys, plus the earthquake in Turkey, plus Sam Smith. So all this stuff happened around the same time. Okay, so they correlate, and you'll see America, Granny, Cat, Unholy, Chiefs, Earthquake, all equal to 32. Okay, so that same number. Okay, so 3 plus 2 equals 5, and the negative side of 5 is overindulgence and perversion. So that's where you get this ritual from. And see, the things that happen, don't are not coincidences. I'm not saying I don't believe in it. I don't believe any like harp uh whatever influence in this. I just feel it's like energy moving. And when you move these type of negative energies, you don't know what you're getting into. So, like we mentioned, it's the cat year. So, the cat year, you'll see these mysterious things that, you know what I mean, like dealing with even stronger magic, you know what I mean? Because this is interdimensional when you're dealing with tying all these energies together in spirits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very interesting tying America to Turkey, and obviously the eagles tying to the bird, the turkey sounding like a bird name. and dealing with this type of tragedy because these are enemies to the cat. Okay. So continuing, the total number for the score for the Super Bowl is 73 from 38 plus 35. And Rihanna in red, she was dressed in red, equals to 37. So I had a little one. I'm sorry, I skipped over too many. Jeez. So right here we have the 47th card, and I tied into the number 47, tying to Water Rabbit, and tying into sorry here 47 the Shells and Pearls, because it's Kansas City. You talk about the Native Americans, and they sold the state or the land in those days with shells and pearls. So you also have the East Palestine, train wreck taking place that had that 47 number into it, and you'll see that number of the VAC later. But it's funny how the 47th card is the Page of Cups. It's tied to Pisces, which she's a Pisces. And I remember the whole spectacular thing that everybody was talking about. This whole spectacle was the birth of a child, or whatever, she was having a child. And it's funny because the 47th card, is the Page of Cups, is tied to a birth of a child, which I thought was interesting. So continue with the numbers. You there, dude? You didn't get lost, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
You didn't fall asleep yet?
No, I'm here, man.
So
Let you talk.
So the WHO, they're declaring this H5N1 bird flu thing going on, and it's so funny how we're dealing with this bird energy again. And I told you that's the cat or the rabbit's enemy, and vaccine, you know what I mean, equals 30, and H5N1 equals 38, which is interesting. So you have another tie to the 30 and the 38. And I guess it wasn't meant to be, for us to take our time with this decode, because I found this today. Even these numbers from the score and the 31, which you mentioned, is tying to the train wreck that happened, right, in the 31, and Akron, Ohio, right, where LeBron is from, equals 30, and this took place in Ohio, and you have all these ties to the 20. So this is really deep, y'all. I found this out today. And strontium, the 38th element, right, looks exactly what happened. Like, it looks exactly like the event that happened with the train derailment, where all these chemicals blew up, and created a mushroom cloud, which is very interesting. Like, even the elements are pointing to this. And the movies, you think the movies won't tell you either? Remember this flop, the train wreck.
Oh, that's fire.
The train wreck. And it was, I believe, LeBron's first appearance in the movies. It actually moved to Los Angeles based off wanting a Hollywood career, which I thought was interesting. So train wreck, and he's from Ohio. The place, where it takes place, is Ohio, and even the coordinates won't lie. You have that 31 tying again. So look at the synchronicity tied to the 32, which we just spoke about. So lastly, I mean, I had all these things. I'll probably share them in the chat, so so others could use them. But I had so many other things, but I'm not gonna get into it because but we're almost done. Thank you for keeping up with it. I mean, not clicking away and hitting that like and sharing maybe, and walking away with something. But this happened just recently. Michigan State University, there was a shooting. So in the dispatch, the operator says they're in room 114 and room 135. There was, I guess, a disturbance, like some gunplay or something, and it adds up to 249. And actually, this took place on February 13th, which adds up, 4 plus 9 is 13, and look at the numbers right there, just by the room numbers. So you get that 213. Yep.
Oh, yeah. And
So,
another thing, 249 is let's see here. Let me double check. Yeah, the sum of divisors for 249 equals 336.
336.
Yeah,
So
it
it
ties
takes
back
full
to your
circle. Yep,
jersey numbers, full circle right up front.
right here. That 336.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
So I came full circle to find out, like, all these things. I know it could seem like a lot, but it all ties together. These numbers don't lie. So even this, like the birth of the child, the children or whatever being birthed, the red. What does this red mean? And this red is actually due to the Native Americans. Like I feel like it's dealing with the Aboriginal. You know what I mean? And tying this, hopefully it's for good use, and to bring more light to nature, mother earth, and not like trying to take advantage again of the symbolism of the natives, you know what I mean, to bring
Hmm.
that energy back. But this is interesting that the school shooting had some numbers too, because you had the 38, which equals to 68, which is the East Palestine, Ohio, where the train derailment happened. So WHO is 121, just like East Lansing, Michigan, where this took place, which is very interesting because you have a 68 tied to 38, and you have Michigan State here tied to 40, and mushroom. We saw that from the mushroom cloud, and the indigenous, which we just spoke
Uh-huh.
about. So all these numbers matching to almost the same event. So we can say, without a doubt, that there's going to be more of these scares of, the pans and the vaxes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to do it again. So that'll be interesting if a 320 or March 20 type of event happens in the market again. That'll be interesting on a third year
Most certainly.
anniversary.
Most certainly could. Then they could wrap it around the eclipse if they wanted to, or 515. 515 sounds. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see. 313 sticking out. 414 sticking out to me. 515 sticking out. 616 is sticking out to me this
I feel
year.
like 616, like from my guides, is gonna be terrible. Like really, like somewhere in June. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Could
Really
be.
bad.
Most
Like,
certainly. This the 88 weeks equals 616 days. So, and then if you get two eights equals 16, and the 16th, the tower card is the 16th card, and that's all about bankruptcy, and it's not good.
right.
It's not good.
And one slide that I forgot, or I almost didn't put it up, was the World Cup, Argentina versus France. So France's logo and name actually derives from gallium, the 31st element, which is the gallium in Spanish is almost similar, means gallo, which is rooster. So that's the
Yeah.
symbology for the 31st element. And then you had, look at the score, it was a 3-3 draw with 4-2 in penalties, which have that 24 in reverse. So you have like
Okay.
numbers connecting like no other time here.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, the rooster is the enemy of the rabbit.
Right.
And so, of course, they lost
Yep.
in the year of the rat. Well, coming up
Well,
to the year.
right before it, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So you want to touch base on anything else? Because remember we wanted to speak a little bit before we go about the whole Pluto Aquarius thing that I want to say.
No, I don't think so. We can keep on moving.
Yeah, because I'm pretty much done. But one reference that it was funny that I was just I love when stuff falls on my lap. So I'm like sub to Crypto Damas, and I saw a tweet that he made, and I'm not gonna make this literal or anything like that. I've just recently been following him, so don't judge me. But he mentions about February 11th to March 22, key dates exact 3-3, which I thought was funny when we're dealing with this 33-3 numbers. And he says keep cash on hand, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's
Uh,
gonna be a crazy down after, like, big leg down or anything like that. But he's specifically talking about BTC. You want to add anything
uh,
to it?
Yeah, well, the Pluto moves into Aquarius on the 23rd of March, like I was saying earlier. Um,
Yes.
do you want to touch on that? You know more about what that means.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I know that Pluto is tied to so to Scorpio, and it's a freezing planet. And a little bit that I know, just like analogy and just symbology and stuff like that. Just taking bits and pieces what I've been hearing. So there is, obviously Aquarius is an air sign, but air, I mean, there's water in air, and that's why you see the card is I'll look it up now before I just start going crazy, not knowing what it is. The water bearer card, and yes, it's the 17th card, and that's actually tied to gold also. So you see it
yes,
there. Oh no, you
yeah.
can't see it, but
I've been
that's the
gold is
star card.
gold
Yeah.
looking sexy. Tomorrow, actually, I is marked. So I use inverse ETFs for to like monitor the market on when it's going to bottom out or pop or like hit the peak, whatnot. Um, and they use date durations from the day they first came out on the market to I don't know, so about 666 weeks and 741 weeks is usually the dates that I like to buy in on. Well, tomorrow there's a gold ETF. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not gonna
Yeah, we should make this
tell you what the
disclaimer now. Do your own
yeah, I'm not a
research.
financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just a compulsive gambler, so don't listen to me. But uh the tomorrow marks the 741st week of this ETF, but this is not an inverse ETF. It is a regular ETF. It's a bullish ETF. So if it could either drastically drop or go up, but based on the chart, it looks like it's going to go up. And I've been told by many people to dollar cost average gold and silver all year long because they're going to inflate like a motherfucker over the next several years.
Right. It's being used a lot in technology, which is funny because Aquarius rules technology.
Yes, and Pluto moving into Aquarius, doesn't that mean advancements in technology?
Well, that's the thing, right? Where I'm trying to decipher it in a certain way, like if you look at Pluto, it freezes water and water in the air, the airy sign, right? It's an air, but water is in air, obviously.
Uh-huh.
And so that part is the negative part, but the positive part, from what I've listened to, at least for next year when Pluto is fully in Aquarius, that's the rebirth of currency. And there was some research I've done about that astrological aspect, that it hasn't happened in like I don't know how many hundreds of years, where it was like the new currency, you know what I mean, which
Yeah,
is
the last time it
interesting.
happened was after Andrew Jackson.
Oh, was
So
it?
yeah, after Andrew Jackson, like he was in over like I love Andrew Jackson. He was a crazy man, but for good reason. The dude was in over 100 duels,
Whoa,
and he walked around with a bullet lodged in his chest wall. And mainly the people he was dueling with was bankers and lawyers.
really?
And he paid off the national debt. He got the banks out of America. And then after he was gone, it took a couple of generations for them to create a false panic, financial panic. And then people are like, yes, 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 give us this fake money. That's what we need.
Bro,
I don't like, you can look up the
it's funny.
history
Andrew
yourself.
Jackson tied to the $20 bill, tied to 20, the score,
Hmm.
tied to the collection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Andrew Jackson was, he was legit.
That's interesting.
Yeah. History of the Federal Reserve. You should do your research on it. It's quite interesting. It ties in with the Oreo theory of that I've thrown around. It's cool history to learn.
That's interesting. Oreo
Yeah.
with the 15 starting letter, ending letter 1500. The OV, that was interesting because I forgot to mention that whole OVO thing is the owl with Drake, remember? But I didn't add it to this one. And Drake's, OVO is the brand, and OVO is the owl. So owl is enemy to, obviously, bird is enemy to the cat rabbit. So
Yeah.
that's interesting that he's dealing with a deposition now in court or whatever. But so yeah, it's all I say, just to wrap it up, and I want to just say thank you so much, Duke, for helping me out on this one, backing me up so I don't look
No
crazy
problem,
out
bro.
here.
Absolutely.
So
I
you
enjoy it.
know that he makes sense out of it because I'm still learning how to do the market thing and trade and whatnot, but Duke is more hands on because he's taking the information and the knowledge and applying it. And this is where something where I want to be, and if you're studying the esoteric, where you want to be, right? You're learning the skill, to help
Mhm.
yourself out, help yourself out financially, for yourself and your families, and you're not going by just hearsay. You have facts here, and you have real connections. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely, 100%. And it's taken me a good couple of years. And like I said before, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a compulsive gambler. I have burnt myself so bad that I took myself out of the market for months. Thinking I knew something and I didn't. Just because I got it right once, and I follow the same algorithm that I did to get it doesn't mean I'm going to get the same outcome on the other one. We're working with fractals, we're working with pi, the golden ratio, the golden section, all that shit. And not only just that, we're working with the planets and astrology, tarot, all of that stuff, and we're trying to bring it together to make an accurate prediction. We're making progress. Feedback from you all helps, and so does that like and subscribe button.
yes, for sure, because it just lets us know that if you don't like it and you don't agree with it, just say it. I'm not gonna block you for any reason unless you're nasty, but just
Or just don't
feedback to
watch it. We'll get the point.
right, right. You don't have to watch it or whatever, but if you disagree, you want to show your viewpoint, that's perfectly fine too. But it just shows you that like even for myself, I came into the market around 2020. I was like going, obviously, with the dopamine hit of everything going up and me actually go, I kept buying on the way up. You know what I mean? On that silly, novice, what I mean, type of investor trader. But I learned so much from it that I just feel like if I would have just gained so much, had all that money then, like I wouldn't go this route, you know what I mean, to try to find out. Because I really looked, for a good few months, you know what I mean, to a year to find how you could tie like numerology and things like that, stuff that I was already interested in and stuff that I already studied in the past, like astrology and tarot, and how to tie this, to the markets and make money. And thankfully, I just in time where I could save, save face. I found like Waters Above and Jordan's work and stuff like that, and I got
Oh
to meet.
man, Jordan's work saved me. Like I thought I was going crazy, and I found Jordan, and he zenned me the fuck out for real. Like
Yeah, man.
he helped me out. He's taught me so much, so much. He's given me so many tools to work with that I'm going to be busy for the next decade. No shit. Like
Yeah, I
not
got.
only not only with the piecing things together, but just this technical analysis part of it alone is enough value for his Discord.
For sure. Just look, even if you don't want to be in the TA or want to learn anything, just to learn about health, learn how to taking care of how to take care of
Yeah, yeah,
yourself,
yeah, yeah.
how to,
Hmm.
different facets
You're
that,
gonna find like-minded people, you
yeah,
know.
like it's like, even if you want to take it to the route where you just want to network, you're gonna meet people that, if you're into something, people can help you out. Eventually, there's meetups. There's so many different facets to this, and at an incredible price. And I'm not shilling it here. I'm just telling you that, like, instead of you just listening to somebody and saying, yeah, crypto up, duh, Lamborghini,
To
whatever,
the
whatnot, to the
moon.
moon, and all this crap, like, have some substance in your life. There's more things to this, in life that, besides like just money and markets and crypto and stuff like that. I know we're talking about it for, over an hour, but it's just so much that you start unraveling things, and then you start applying it to your real life, and that's where it makes even more sense.
Absolutely, 100%, man. Um, that's where we met. Divine introduced us through Waters Above crypto channel,
That's right.
and yeah, so and here we are a few months later.
For sure, man. So I'm gonna leave it to the next episode where we'll probably be back again. I'm pretty sure Duke and hopefully Divine will join us too. And
Yeah.
we're little by little we're trying to get more, like more interviews. I actually hit up Inside the Candles. He didn't hit me back up. I DM'd him, but
Cool.
huh?
I said, huh?
Yeah. So I'll try again. I'm persistent, man.
Yeah, good.
But
Keep on, keep on. He seems busy though.
yeah, I got the cards in the mail too. So I just opened them up, the Egyptian tarot and stuff like that.
Sweet. He
So
seems like a guy who reads and replies to all of his messages and DMs.
yes, because he replies to all those tweets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's an interesting person. If you want to follow him too, we got a lot of good positive things from him. Good vibes. He throws the tarot cards, and connecting the astrology and stuff like that to
Yeah.
the markets. He
And the
does.
elements, they have their own cycles, their own times, and the planets, and he brings those in and uses those times as pivot points. And it's a lot to grasp. Even me, like I'm lost. I'm having to like I feel like I'm in kindergarten on this stuff.
Yeah,
But
it is a lot, but once like you get the cards, kind of, you understand what you're saying. I just don't understand the timing of different aspects of like planetary wise with the Vedic. If it was just
yeah,
like Western, I would have gotten it right away, but it just takes
yeah,
practice.
for sure, it takes a lot. He said he's been doing it for 30 years, so or he's been
Yeah, man.
working at it for 30
35
years.
or something, right?
Yeah,
That's
something long
wild.
ass time. Like I've only been at this for about 3.
Yeah, I have shorter time, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man. So I think next episode we should have more charting involved. I definitely want to share some. I've been promising for a while, like more cards, and I want to share a little bit of the Chinese astrology and how I correlate them to the months, and how you'll see the friends and enemies and stuff like that within the months for the markets. So I've broken down a couple crypto and stocks. So hopefully we can go over it together. But I thank everyone for tuning in. You have any last words right there, Duke?
Not really. Just hit that like and subscribe button. I'd like to come back on the show and talk more shit with everyone.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna edit it and be out tomorrow, but I know Duke is gonna be in the wolf chat tomorrow. He's gonna have a little presentation about skills. If you want to go, and if any wolves are in the house, you go check it out.
Yeah, come
So
check it out. I want to go over date durations. It'll be fun.
cool, man. So I'm at Decode144 on Twitter. If you want to follow me and just post some screenshots from certain decodes that I do and stuff that I follow with the numbers. You want to share any social media, Duke?
Um, yeah. Let me make sure I'm going to give you the right handle.
Sure, man.
1 second. I'll share my Twitter. It's at Scrub Anon. SCURBANON. I'm sorry, SCRUBANON.
So scrub on.
Yeah, Scrub Anon.
Got you. All right,
Yeah.
y'all. So thank you, and we'll see you soon. I love y'all. Peace out.